The Justice Department's document dump this afternoon does not comply with Thomas Massie and my Epstein Transparency Act. They released one document from a New York grand jury of 119 pages, totally blacked out. This despite a federal judge ordering them to release that document.
More than 500 pages of the long-awaited Jeffrey Epstein files released to the public, and yet entirely blacked out. CBS News has confirmed that hundreds of pages in the Justice Department's release contain no readable information at all, just solid blocks of black ink, page after page. The documents were supposed to deliver transparency. Instead, they have raised new questions. Among the redacted material, whole files, entire exhibits, and even documents labeled Grand Jury New York, completely obscured from public view. Lawmakers and critics are now asking what exactly is being hidden and why. The dark documents include photographs from Epstein's residences, investigative files, and records referencing prominent figures who were part of Epstein's social and professional circle. A substantial portion of the release consists of photographs taken from Epstein's various properties. These include images believed to be from an FBI search of his Manhattan mansion, as well as photos from a beachside estate widely assumed to be his private island, Little St. James. While some material sheds light on the scale of the investigations into Epstein and his convicted associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, much of it offers little new information due to extensive redactions. In several cases, entire documents spanning hundreds of pages are obscured by solid black boxes, making their contents impossible to discern.
The Justice Department's document dump this afternoon does not comply with Thomas Massie and my Epstein Transparency Act. They released one document from a New York grand jury of 119 pages, totally blacked out. This despite a federal judge ordering them to release that document. And our law requires them to explain redactions. There's not a single explanation for why that entire document was redacted. We have not seen the draft indictment that implicates other rich and powerful men who were on Epstein's rape island, who either watched the abuse of young girls or participated in the abuse of young girls and the sex trafficking. The reality is Pam Bondi has obfuscated for months. She first said there were no more documents to be seen. Now she's admitting and releasing hundreds of thousands of documents, but it is an incomplete release with too many redactions. Thomas Massie and I are exploring all options. It can be the impeachment of people at justice, inherent contempt, or referring for prosecution those who are obstructing justice. We will work with the survivors to demand the full release of these files, to demand justice for the Epstein class and accountability.
Among the most striking examples are 3 consecutive documents totaling 255 pages that are entirely redacted, as well as a separate 119-page file labeled Grand Jury NY, which is also fully blacked out. The Justice Department has not publicly clarified the precise origins of that grand jury material, though nearby documents suggest it may relate to proceedings connected to Maxwell's prosecution. Other files contain partial redactions, where a visible cover page or photograph is followed by dozens of pages that are completely concealed. Not all records are uniformly censored. A lengthy Florida police report from the mid-2000s investigation into Epstein retains substantial detail while masking victims' identities and other sensitive information. Similarly, many photographs released by the department show partially obscured faces. Images featuring former President Bill Clinton, pop star Michael Jackson, and other well-known figures remain visible, while surrounding individuals are redacted. Authorities have stressed that the presence of these figures in the files does not imply criminal conduct.
We fully expect Pam Bondi and Donald Trump to dodge, duck, delay, partially release the files. If they release some documents and hide others, the American people will see right through it.
The Justice Department insists the redactions are necessary to protect victims, sensitive sources, and ongoing investigations. But critics argue the scope is excessive, saying the blackout undermines the very purpose of releasing the files in the first place. Thousands of pages were made public, yet in key sections, nothing can be seen, nothing can be read, nothing can be verified. As pressure mounts from both parties, survivors advocates and transparency watchdogs, demands are growing louder for answers and for accountability. The Epstein files were meant to close a dark chapter. Instead, the heavy redactions have opened a new one, fueling suspicion, frustration, and a simple, unanswered question. What is still being kept from the public, and who is being protected?
The newly disclosed material includes photographs, phone logs, interview summaries, travel records, grand jury references, and internal investigative files. While some documents had previously surfaced through court cases, Freedom of Information Act requests, or congressional releases, this batch brings together a broad collection, much of it still heavily redacted, the Justice Department said, to comply with laws protecting victims and private individuals. A substantial portion of the release consists of photographs taken from Epstein's various properties. These include images believed to be from an FBI search of his Manhattan mansion, as well as photos from a beachside estate widely assumed to be his private island, Little St. James. The images depict sexually explicit or suggestive settings, massage tables, sex toys, nude or partially clothed women, and framed photographs displayed throughout Epstein's homes. In many cases, faces and identifying features are obscured by black redactions. One file alone contains dozens of censored images of naked women, with no indication when or where the photographs were taken. Investigators noted in a footnote that 33 images suspected to depict underage girls were not digitized or released, citing concerns they constituted child sexual abuse material, CSAM, which remains protected from public disclosure under federal law. The documents also include images of numerous high-profile figures released without dates or explanatory context. Among those appearing most frequently is former U.S. President Bill Clinton, who maintained a social relationship with Epstein in the 1990s and 2000s, but has consistently denied any knowledge of Epstein's criminal conduct. Several photographs show Clinton in a swimming pool or hot tub alongside Epstein and his longtime associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, whose conviction for sex trafficking is now final. Clinton's face is among the few left unredacted, along with Epstein and Maxwell. The White House highlighted Clinton's repeated appearance in the files, with Trump spokesperson Abigail Jackson posting on social media that the release raises questions the media should address. Clinton, through his spokesperson, Angel Arena, responded that the investigation is not about Bill Clinton and reiterated that Clinton cut ties with Epstein before his criminal behavior was exposed. Other well-known individuals appearing in the photos include Michael Jackson, Richard Branson, Diana Ross, Bill Gates, Chris Tucker, and Prince Andrew. One image appears to show Prince Andrew lying across multiple people whose faces are fully concealed, with Maxwell standing behind them. Andrew has denied all allegations of wrongdoing and has not been charged in connection with Epstein's crimes. Authorities stressed that the presence of individuals in these images does not imply criminal behavior. While Epstein also had a past relationship with President Donald Trump, references to Trump in the released files are limited according to the documents. Photos include Trump's book, The Art of the Deal, on a bookshelf, and an image of Trump among other photographs found in Epstein's office drawer. Trump has previously said he severed ties with Epstein years before the financier's crimes became public. Additional records reference British supermodel Naomi Campbell and handwritten interview notes tied to an alleged victim. Campbell, who appeared on Epstein's flight logs, said she was horrified by his crimes. The notes also mention Jean-Luc Brunel, a modeling agent linked to Epstein who died in a French prison in 2022 while under investigation for sex crimes. Meanwhile, victims of Epstein's abuse reacted with anger and disappointment to the release. Several said the documents fail to provide meaningful new insight into how Epstein operated or whether others were involved. This does not deliver accountability, some survivors said, arguing the disclosures recycle old material while obscuring critical details.
Just put out the files and stop redacting names that don't need to be redacted. It's just, who are we trying to protect? Are we protecting the survivors, or are we protecting these elite men that need to be put out there? And people need to know these are predators that are in the files. They need to be brought to justice so they can stop doing this in the long run. It's for everyone's safety at the end of the day. I haven't gone through all of it, so I don't want to speak, I don't want to say the wrong things, but I do understand that also a lot of important, people have been redacted from it. And the whole process of being transparent was to only redact the survivors and the victims' names. So here we are right where we started with the first files. These names that need to be put out there, people need to know about these people, have been redacted. So it's a little bit confusing. I feel like, again, the DOJ, the justice system, is failing us. In the beginning, they were calling us a hoax, right? They were like saying that we were a hoax. And now they're like, we believe you, we're going to release the files. But yet you still haven't released the files, and it's not even full transparent. So it's very nice to say it, but it's also nice to actually do it.
Despite legislation requiring full disclosure by December 19th, the Justice Department acknowledged that more records remain unreleased pending further redactions. Deputy General told Todd Blanche said more files are expected in the coming months. The delay has fueled accusations from Democrats and critics that the Trump administration is selectively releasing information, a claim the Justice Department has denied.